if going back to the other subject of service meshes, William Morgan explained that ambient mesh is a viable alternative to having too many sidecar containers in service meshes, but it comes at the expense of not having the pod as a single independent unit. What are your thoughts on service meshes? Should you use one or not? And when should you use one?
I think there's delicate balance between having small enough use cases, right? Having small enough microservices to understanding that you already have many, and now doing a migration is going to be painful for you, right? I think it kind of also reminds me a little bit, when you ask yourself, how early on should I bring the platform engineer, the DevOps engineer to my organization, or how long should I rely on the infra-oriented developer? Obviously, there's pros and cons for each. I like service meshes, and I think they provide real value when you start to have this amount of microservices. When you start understanding when you do want to understand what happens to the request that comes into your cluster, what microservices like it pass through. When you start caring about security, what of the connections are MTLS encrypted, what are not. When you want to have identity-based authorization policies and not IP-based, right? Identity-based. And when you start having some advanced, L7 routing needs, whether it's canary splitting, whether it's rate limiting, all this kind of stuff that Service Mesh provides out of the box for you. And it's not really out of the box, of course, right? But it just gives you the ability to have all these features without needing to go and change your application code. And I think some of the concerns in the past where you had to go to a service mesh and you'd be vendor locked for the implementation. And I think that's with Gateway API and Gateway for Mesh APIs are going to go away. And I know users really, really value having this portability in their hand. I do think